Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to put two tinted moisturizers to the test. We're going to look at the more Luxe Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer and put it up against the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Anti-Aging Perfector. The big question is, can you tell the difference between a $50 product and some $13 product? I tested them side by side on my mature skin for today just to see how they each hold up, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on application, wear, and everything in between. So keep watching to find out which one comes out on top. So there are a lot of tinted moisturizers on the market, as you all probably know. And the reason I picked these two in particular are because I had seen a video by Lisa J reviewing the Laura Mercier version, and it appears that it's been reformulated. I haven't really been able to nail it down exactly what is different about it now, although I do know it has existed for some time, at least a few years anyway. Anyway, I was intrigued because I have used this tinted moisturizer from Neutrogena for at least 10 years, and I love it. It's been my go-to for all of the years that I wasn't wearing heavy duty makeup on a regular basis. This is what I put on. My question was, if I pay about 3 times the price, is it going to make a significant difference in quality, performance, that kind of thing? Can I spend my way to perfection is basically where I'm going with that. Am I missing out on something? So yeah, we're going to take a look at the two of them together, and then I'm going to show you some application video, and then we'll look and see what's going on my face. But first, let's talk about what each of these portend to do for you. So for Laura Mercier, it claims that it has buildable sheer to light coverage with a natural dewy finish, claims to improve tone and texture in as little as 1 day. It is humidity proof, non-comedogenic, non-acnegenic, derm tested, ophthalmologist tested. Stick a pin in that one because we're going to come back to it. It contains oxysalate, octocrylene, titanium dioxide, and zinc oxide, and has 30 SPF. Now, we know that the SPF in a tinted moisturizer, unless it's 50, shouldn't be taken as being fully protective. I would always recommend wearing a regular sunscreen underneath either of these, and just think of the SPF in each of these. This one is 30, this one has 20. Think of it as a bonus, more or less. So anyway, going back, so it says this has hyaluronic acid, upcycled grape extract with resveratrol, and probiotics to strengthen the skin barrier. It has no flashback, and you get 1.522 ounces for $50, which, if my math is mathing, works out to about $33 per ounce, and it comes in 20 shades. This comes in tube, so I should also have shown you, and I did not, that this comes in a little squeezy tube. The Neutrogena comes with a little pump. This has a blendable sheer coverage with a natural dewy finish, clinically proven to smooth your skin's texture and reduce the appearance of fine lines even after you take it off, and it evens skin tone. This has octinoxate, octisalate, titanium dioxide, and as I said, has 30 SPF. Standout ingredients in this one are the retinol. It has actually antioxidants and some vitamins, and you get 1 ounce of product for about $13. Depends on where you buy it and when you buy it, and it comes in 6 universal shades. So in this one I'm wearing fair to light. In this one I wear, what color is this one? This is 1C Cameo. I will swatch these for you, and I will let you know that the I applied both of these products on my face this morning, and I did not put anything else on my face. So I didn't put any color corrector on. I didn't put any concealer, anything like that, because I just wanted to see what it would do in terms of covering up the redness that I have, evening out my skin tone, that sort of thing. So over here we have on the bottom, this is the Neutrogena, and this is what she looks like. And on the top is the Laura Mercier. This is what she looks like. They're very similar in texture. I would say, if anything, the Laura Mercier is it feels a little thicker to me, but not something you would probably ever notice. As I'm spreading them out a little bit, you'll see that on the top, the Laura Mercier, the shade is slightly lighter. Actually, it's kind of a lot lighter than the shade for in the Neutrogena. But when they sheer out enough so that it's not something that's noticeable, and I think you can probably see that on my skin now. But I will just show you. I'll rub it in, and it basically shears out to nothing. I would say that this is definitely not something you want to use if you're looking for a high coverage product. It is not buildable in any way. It's not going to cover up a lot of imperfections and that sort of thing. You can obviously wear it with color corrector. You can apply concealer afterward. I've done all of those things without any problem, and it looks fine. As I said, because neither has a very high SPF, under ordinary circumstances, I would apply my regular sunscreen first. I did not do that today. I did not leave the house, so I didn't bother doing that. But under, again, ordinary circumstances, I would absolutely do that. I also didn't go super heavy on my regular moisturizer because I wanted to kind of determine what the hydration level was for each of these, since they both do claim to be very hydrating. I would say that the application was nearly identical. They're both very creamy. They both blend out really nicely. I didn't have to go in. I used my fingers. I didn't have to go in with a brush afterward, just kind of smooth things out. They both kept their promise to leave a dewy finish. After that, I did put on some other makeup products. I'll let you know what those were, but I'm certainly not looking what I would consider to be dewy now. I don't know if you can see. For the most part, neither settled into lines. I'm not noticing any real creasing to speak of under my eyes, which is where I would typically get it. Or I guess I have a little bit of my chin, and you can see it's the same on both sides. So I would say that it's a wash in terms of which one is better. I don't see any creasing around my nose. I would get it there as well. The coverage obviously isn't the same as when I first put it on. That was about at least 8 hours ago. 8.5 hours ago. Since then, I applied blush. Take my glasses off again. Since then, I've applied blush. I applied eyeshadow, and that's it. That's all I have on. Actually, that's not true. I also have some highlighter on my face, but that's all. And I think you can see that it's not. While I don't have oily skin, so I don't typically have a lot of natural oils that come through during the day. I do have some. And I don't see that as being a problem. I don't feel as though I am particularly glowy. I also my skin doesn't feel dry, which is very important because that's far more likely to happen as I go throughout the day. I do want to come back to the ophthalmologist tested claim by Laura Mercier, because what I will tell you is that I've worn this before and it did not happen today. However, the past couple of times that I've put it on, it has made my eyes burn a little bit. I do apply, when I use a tinted moisturizer, I do apply it on my eyelids as well. So perhaps we can say that that's to be expected. However, that has never happened to me with the Neutrogena ever. So take that for what it's worth. It wasn't bad burning, and I wouldn't say it was enough to keep. It's certainly not enough to keep me from wearing it, obviously, because I've been wearing it. I've continued to wear this, even though that did happen a couple of times. But I just wanted to make sure that folks were aware of it. If you do have extra sensitive eyes, you might want to avoid that area when you're applying it, just to be safe. All right, so what's the verdict, according to me? Based on my highly scientific experiment, if someone put a gun to my head and forced me to choose between these two products, I would take the Neutrogena. In my imperfect opinion, it performs just as well as the Laura Mercier, and it looks and feels nearly identical. And even though the Neutrogena has 10 SPF less than the Laura Mercier, we aren't taking that into account because, as we said, that's just bonus. That's bonus SPF. So we're not gonna take points off for that. And I think it goes without saying that the Neutrogena is considerably more affordable than the Laura Mercier. Will I continue to use the Laura Mercier? Absolutely. I bought it. I'm gonna wear it, and I'm just gonna maybe be a little careful around my eye area just to be safe. But at the end of the day, if a friend came to me and said, which of these do you think I should pick up? I'd say the Neutrogena. Don't spend your $50. Spend 13. You'll get pretty much the same as you would with the more expensive one. And yeah, I think it's a better deal. So I don't know. I'll show you one more time, and then you can tell me in the comments if you think you can tell the difference between either application. I am willing to bet that most people would look at me and wouldn't know that I was wearing two different products on my face. I'd love to know which side you preferred, if you had a preference. So if you've tried either of these yourself, and if you have any thoughts on them, or if you've tried other tinted moisturizers that you think might be better, I'd love to hear that as well. I do have an RMS Beauty one that I was going to include in this, but I decided to make it a double header and not start to introduce. But maybe what I'll do is, as the warmer weather starts coming, I will pick up a bunch of other tinted moisturizers and do like a big comparison between them all, because I do in the summertime definitely prefer to wear something like this because it's light and it's not heavy on my skin and I'm not sweating, especially if I'm having a hot flash. I don't need like more stuff on my face making me warmer than I already am. That's it. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe. If you're interested in seeing my honest take on different beauty products, then I've got more stuff coming and I would love to share it with you. I will see you in the next one. Thanks.